After the Daily Wire replaced Brett Cooper with Regan Conrad on the comment section,
so
what
got
used
replaced?
to be millions of views per video now struggles to get an abysmal 50,000 views. So let's cut right to it, and why the Daily Wire would sabotage themselves, as this is just because
so why they kick somebody out that was getting millions of views? Why the fuck would you do that?
Shapiros Ego. As remember
What?
when Ben made fun of that rapper Cardi B, he got blasted online for not understanding rap. The mainstream media even shamed him for it.
What?
So Ben turned around and made a Billboard #1 hit with his hip-hop song Facts. So why wouldn't malicious achievements become a theme? Matt Walsh makes that movie What is a Woman?
I remember that.
And we're just supposed to believe they mysteriously found this Ben Shapiro looking woman
It does. She does look. I mean, let's be real.
recording a show in the same exact studio?
Yeah.
So when Matt Walsh released Am I a Racist? What a coincidence they also mysteriously fire Fem Shapiro to make space for Ben Tatum. And Ben getting into blackface just to be the ultimate contrarian seems insanely extreme, albeit on brand. But I buy a YouTuber doing a Mrs. Doubtfire before I believe the Daily Wire would build up this superstar
Why
in
would
Brett
they
Cooper
do that, though?
and then just let her walk away with her entire fan base, as there's definitely something behind the scenes. So we'll break down how Brett's finally starting her new show, how the new host's cousin blasted Brett on TikTok, and why nobody is watching the new show.
And now on Inauguration Day, she's wearing purple, not blue, but not red, purple.
As I simply don't believe this was over money. Even if Brett was asking for 90% of the profits, that remaining 10% is still more than receiving 100% of the show without her. But maybe in this
so she asking for more money. Oh, that's what it is.
economy, everybody's trying to save. That's why it's great we have a sponsor for today's video.
That's gotta be. It's
so
money.
if you're like me, with an incredibly busy schedule, mixed with a bit of laziness when it comes to grocery shopping, you would likely spend a bit too much money eating out. That's why I absolutely love Hungry Root, as all you do is fill out a survey on if you're looking to save. I absolutely love Hungry Root, as all you do.
Wait, omnivore, flex. Where's steak? Where's carnivore? Why is there no carnivore?
Is fill out a survey on if you're looking to save time, money, or just simplify shopping.
What the hell?
Tell them what kind of food you like,
what the hell, man,
you most enjoy, and they suggest a customizable meal plan based on your answers. Then you quickly receive an insulated box filled with all the ingredients you'll need, paired with easy to understand recipes that even me, a Neanderthal in the kitchen, can make. That actually looks like the image on the website.
Pretty good.
Now, obviously, I'm no gourmet chef, but it was delicious, especially knowing every ingredient involved in my meal. Unlike with fast food, where who knows what's inside or how old everything is. Now, I've done endorsements before, but this is something I've genuinely needed in my life for a long time. So right now, you can get 40% off your first box, plus a free item in every box for life, if you click the link below or go to hungryroot.com and use code DECOY. That's 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life at hungryroot.com with code DECOY. But Brett's solo career is starting off with a bang, as her first live show sold out in a day. Her new YouTube channel hit 500,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and without a single upload, 22 days later, she's grown to 607,000 subscribers. Wow. While the comment section with Regan boasts 4 million, it continues to collapse, losing.
What the fuck? Damn, what the hell happened? Holy shit! They fell off a fucking cliff.
380,000 in a month. And when you watch the new episodes, her comment section became the Regan Roast section, where people click in just to leave mean words and a downvote, saying she backstabbed her best friend to get 50,000 views.
Wow.
And if you've been watching me for a while, you've known I always try to be nice and find the positive in people that mean well. So I sat down and tried to see Regan's videos with an open mind. But it's just objectively bad. Not to say she isn't a good host and couldn't make a great show, I just think she's set up for failure, as the comment section was dependent on Brett's commentary and isn't the same without it.
The golden age of America begins right now.
The golden age, love that. The golden age, I love. I feel it will be a golden age. The golden age is upon us indeed.
Now I get it.
So she just does bad commentary? Is that basically the criticism? They just don't like what she's saying? She talks like an NPC?
Gotta get your reps in before you get good at anything. And Regan stepping in to replace the top host in the niche just exasperates their disparity in skill. This is like me trying to learn how to dribble a basketball on the Boston Celtics. Every time I make an error, the fans are gonna blast me for it. But don't blame me for being new. Blame the coach for putting me in before I'm ready. That's
a good point. No, he's bringing up a really good point. Is like this woman probably isn't that experienced at doing it, so she's not as good at it yet. But the fact is that also, unless this is recorded live, like, you could have edited this together in a different way. Like, I mean, I've got a lot more, you know, leniency for things that are live versus things that are pre-recorded.
Point. She just read libs of TikTok tweets for 3 minutes.
Jesus.
Trump has signed an executive order to withdraw from the Paris Climate Treaty. Trump signed an executive order directing all federal employees to Trump signed an executive order to Trump signed an executive order to Trump signed an executive order Trump signed an executive order Trump signed an executive order.
And again, I don't really blame her because that's the show. I'm sure if she built up something for herself, it would have an entirely different format. As Candace Owens pointed out, just how inorganic the entire premise is.
They did not regroup. They did not rebrand the show. They even kept the girl wearing headphones, kind of like the same dorm setting, which was kind of strange because Brett Cooper, of course, is just 22. She began the show when she was 18, so this sort of like college vibe and the headphones made sense. Regan's 29 years old. This is an adult woman, and she's kind of cosplaying a teenager in a dorm room. Super.
She's right. She's fucking right. Yeah, it seems inauthentic. Yeah, absolutely.
Awkward.
This actually had me pinpoint the problem they're having, which is like when The Office lost their lead in Steve Carell, leaving the show struggling to find an identity. Or an even better example is Comedy Central's The Man Show. It was originally hosted by Adam Carolla and Jimmy Kimmel, but was recasted with Joe Rogan and Gazorp McGinnis.
I don't recognize him with the hair.
Was Gazorp that second guy's name? Probably not, but you couldn't correct me without Google, so it's irrelevant. The point being is Joe Rogan is an industry-leading superstar, while Jimmy Kimmel is a woke idiot, and Adam Carolla, I don't know. I met him in real life and he was an so don't meet your heroes. But what I'm trying to say is Joe Rogan on The Man Show is like anybody else trying to host the comment section with Brett Cooper or being the regional manager for Dunder Mifflin. Whether you try to emulate the original or change it into your own, 90% of the subscribers are going to resent you. And no amount of explaining is
this is what, like, I always felt bad for Liam Hemsworth trying to take on the role of The Witcher, like Geralt. Because it's like, it's not going to matter even if he does a really good job, because people are still going to be mad that it's not Henry Cavill. And like the same thing happened when Mads Mikkelsen took over, what's the role? The Fantastic Beasts, the Wizard. Anyway, like he took over this role for like this wizard. Grindelwald. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he was playing Grindelwald. And yeah, I feel like people viewed that negatively as well. And I think that, like, whenever I go back and I feel like recasting usually is not a good decision. Like, because, yeah, he got recast because they got rid of Johnny Depp because of, like, that whole trial thing he had with Amber Heard. But, like, yeah, I feel like that kills the vibe. It does. It's weird, right? And so Superman, yeah, and actually that's another really great point. Is like recently there's been the new Superman, the guy playing Superman, and people are like, oh, it's another recasting. We don't like this. People are complaining about the new Captain America because it's like I guess like that black guy that's replacing you know, the I forgot his name, Chris Adams or Chris something, and like playing the old Captain America, yeah. And so I feel like there's a lot of Chris Evans, there you go, and I feel like in a lot of cases, the recasting decision is a bad decision. Pretty much always. And then another example is Hellboy. You know, like the Ron Perlman Hellboy movies were like really, really fucking good. And the new one, I feel like just didn't have the same expectation. Yeah, people weren't happy about that either. So I'm just thinking about Ron as Hellboy. Yeah, he was fucking perfect, man. Yeah, and the movies were really good too. I'm trying to think if there's any other examples that come right off the top of my head. But those are some of the ones that I would start with right there. So, yeah.
the audience expectations. So when Regan's cousin tried to come to her defense in a 9-minute monologue I've condensed.
Here's what really happened. Brett chooses to leave over reasons that legally I don't believe I am allowed to say, so I'm not going to touch on them. So the Daily Wire reaches out and offers...
See, you can't get people to... So this is the problem, is like you can't tell people, hey, the actual reason is something I can't discuss, so you're just going to have to trust me whenever I tell you that it's a good reason. Like that's like you're basically asking them to write you a blank check. It's such a bad way of communicating.
To Regan. Now Regan is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Brett has told Regan that she wants Regan to come with her, to leave the Daily Wire with her. And she told her that she could be her producer. However, that being said, it would be months before Brett knew of what she wanted Regan to exactly be doing. It would be months until Regan got paid by Brett.
Sure.
And also, Regan would not be getting as much pay from Brett, that's for sure. The Daily Wire is able to pay her a great sum of money. Her being an emotional wreck, not wanting to upset Brett, that was her only concern. And I said, take away Brett's feelings, what would you do? She said, I would take it. I would love to take it. So, Regan takes the position. Then Brett decides
this is always like this is kind of like a really good parallel to this. I don't know how good of a parallel actually, but like it's like streamers that end up going to another platform, like, oh well, I'm gonna go start streaming on Mixer or YouTube or Kick or something like that. Nobody's ever moved to another platform like that and had it positively impact their streaming career. Like, you have people like Ludwig who always made videos, and so I think that inside of the aggregate, he did well continuing that. But otherwise, Tim, I'm not sure how well Tim did. I have no idea. Autoblock, I'm not certain. Valkyrie, I don't know. I feel like they probably had more viewers before they left YouTube than after they came back, but I could be wrong on that. Overall, I think that in general, my point is that when you make a business decision, you have to have the self-awareness that when you do something like that, it's not always about the money. It's not like the money is one factor, but like the paycheck is only one element. It's also about like kind of your career trajectory. Like, these are both young women, right? Like, one's 29, the other's 22. You're going to be doing this probably for 20, 30 more years off and on, at least 10. So like, you think about what's better for you in 10 years, not what's better for you in 10 days. It's just a bad decision to make. And like, short-term decision making like that almost always causes people to fail.
Remove all of the posts on her social media.
That's the point.
Regan. Brett completely unfollows Regan off of Instagram. Messed up if you ask me. Because Regan always was supporting Brett. And the internet is disgusting towards Regan right now, and it's also disgusting how Brett has handled this, because she's just fostered hate towards Regan, and Regan has said nothing but support for Brett.
And I know she's just trying to stick up for her cousin, and I commend that, as it seems impossible to defend, because you can't tell Brett Cooper's fans to calm down, while simultaneously saying she knew it would hurt Brett's feelings. She was invited to embark in a startup with her.
No, you guys say like it's a unfollow, doesn't matter. But like, it does make a difference, and it does indicate something to the audience. I mean, there's a reason why she did it. I mean, yeah, it's not a big deal, and it's kind of like girl drama, yeah, for sure. But like, at the same time, she did do it, and there was a reason for it.
But she chose more money and a chance to be the star. That's not swaying anybody's opinion of Regan. And Brett turning down a guaranteed salary, her pre-existing success, all to go off in her own uncharted territory is terrifying. I know the feeling, because I too left a regular job to do YouTube, and I can only imagine if I asked my best friend to join me in either my worst mistake or greatest achievement, and if she said, nah, I think I'll hang back on that business you built, take your old job and be your new competition, we probably wouldn't be friends anymore. And the fact that she's mad...
I feel like, honestly, I wouldn't blame anybody for not wanting to follow you doing that. I mean, it's a huge risk, and most people might not have the same outlook that you do. I mean, you can't expect everybody to be on the same page as you all the time. Seems
over
logical,
mean
yeah.
comments and unsubstantiated rumors just shows she doesn't know what it is to be the star. You're always going to get hate comments, especially on YouTube, and it only gets exponentially worse as your channel grows. So if you can't handle the leftover fans from the last host, just wait until you accidentally offend one of those activist groups of terminally online angry losers. As in our industry, it's basically an occupational hazard, especially when they try to sneakily replace the host of the show. So if I ever do it, you won't even notice.
Damn.
So if you appreciate my concise, lighthearted commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality, hopefully I've earned your subscription.
We should have put down there by the bottom, like, you know, like a Netflix thing or something.
God. Then go check out that next video that won't be done by DEI voice.
Man, that's good. That was good. Yeah, exactly. And anyway, people bored care about this shit. I think it does matter to an extent. I had seen people talking about it, and I was kind of curious what happened with this because I had no idea. I didn't know what any of this was. So yeah, there it is. I guess that's what it is. You had the perfect click. I guess so, man.